Hello and welcome to episode 2 in this series, looking behind the scenes at the production work involved in Malcolm King, the legendary performer tribute show. Okay, so here we are on site at the hall that we use for rehearsals, for set building, set testing, programming, anything. What we're going to do now is going to unload this little lot here behind me. So far, we've got the framework up, we've got one of the star cloths up, another star cloth down the floor down here. So, on with the next part. Second half of the star cloth, let's get some light fixtures out as well. In shot right now, we have stage right. This is the T-bar lighting bank from the side of the stage, and on there are two American DJ Pt.2 LED Pros, and in the centre there is one of 4 abstract VRX discharge scanners. So let's have a little pan around. Okay, so onto the back. I can just zoom in on this. Is another VRX, and then we've got the framework which is supporting the star cloth, which is a black cloth there. It's not lit up yet, obviously, because we've not done any cabling. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 American DJ Megabar LEDs, and at the far corner again another VRX scanner, and then we have the second stage left T-bar with another pair of Pt.2 LED Pros and the 4th VRX scanner. Here we have the cabling for the lighting set. There are some audio cables here, let's just take you through some. Down this side we've got lots of different mains cables, all which have their own purpose. Around here we've got a selection of DMX cables of different lengths, some of which are already tagged up from previous incarnations of the set. What we've got to do this time though is we've got to work out which piece is going to go where in the DMX chain. We don't want too much cable over, because it just starts to become unmanageable. Down this side we've got more extension cables for the mains, some speaker cables, and down here at the back is our dimmer units which are used on the lettering which we have up on the show. Okay, so I'm now going to start looking at all the different cables and work out what is going to go where. Okay, so what I've got here are the ends of all the cables. I've laid them out, as you can probably see. This will help me work out, obviously at a glance, which cable will probably suit the section I'm looking for. It means that I can see the full lengths, and as you can see there are some really long ones out there. It will enable me to quickly find the right length of cable for the section of lighting that I'm trying to jump the DMX cables in between. These are all DMX. Now, yeah, I know some of you are probably going, well, you've got red cable, it's going to be so obvious. Well, actually, it isn't during the show. The cables get tucked away nicely down the various trussing, along the various trussing, and up and down the various poles. So it doesn't particularly show. If you're careful with how you fasten the cables up to the poles, whatever colour it is, it doesn't really matter. For me, it means that I can see very quickly in my whole selection of cables which cable belongs where. It might work differently for yourself, that's a choice that you'll make. I'm not laying down the rules here. Oh yeah, this one here. Now, the reason why this one's looped together already is that this section of cable has a special purpose within the chain of DMX, and I'll explain more of that a bit later on. Okay guys, that's the DMX cabling all in place now. Now, it isn't a difficult run, it's a very straightforward chain, just a single universe, single chain from one end to the other. I'm going to take you through it. Now, I haven't fastened any cables in place, they're just all hanging loose at the moment, and I'll explain the issues that I've got and need to address to do a little bit of tidying up, okay? Down on the floor here is the DMX extension, which will run back to the lighting desk, or as in my cases, a PC. We run CompuLive from Elation. Right, up we go. As I say, nothing's fastened in place, so we go straight into the back of the first power can. Out of that into the Abstract VRX, back into another power can. Now we run the cabling along here. This is the first issue. First issue is that I don't like particularly running cables along in mid-air. Not that, again, it would be a major issue because of the way that the stage set is constructed. So for now, I'm quite happy to accept that, but that will be possibly one issue to address. Bring it down the pole, along the floor, up the rig, up to the light. Right, so straight into the back of the VRX. Now you won't see the lighting that goes into because it's round the front, okay? All 4 of those megabars. So I want to come round the back because I want to show you the next issue that I've got. And that is it. The cable's a little bit long to go 1 metre. So again, these need to be shortened, just for my own benefit really. But there are extra benefits, which I will mention. Now take a note how much cable was on there. Again, we come out of the megabar, around into the next one, which is at the front. Then from that we actually come down. What we come down to is this little concoction of equipment here. What we have are 2 back-to-back dimmer units. Alright, now these are fairly chunky ones. After I bought these, I found that you could actually get rack mount ones, which are going to be added to the list of things to get, and then I'll get rid of these. Effectively the same things, but in a rack mount unit. And I've just fastened these to a wooden unit, so there is enough for carrying around. So down we come, in, jumping across to the second one, and then out. Now I mentioned earlier that there was a cable that I had that was fastened together already. The reason being is that these 2 units have DMX polarity reversed in them, and rather than opening them up, I've just created jumpers. So I've got dedicated cables. Right, from there we then come round to this large coil here, which comes into these little 2 boxes. Now these 2 boxes are the NJD Starcloth controllers, one for each side, the 2 3-metre wide curtains that span this unit. The reason I don't have a 6-metre one is because we do smaller gigs sometimes, okay, and it means that we use a smaller backdrop. So having the 2 is beneficial. Yes, it does mean there is a gap down there, but I do have a black strip that goes down there anyway, so once again all the lighting in the front of the house is out, you can't tell. Now this looks a bit like a mess down here, it's just that there's a lot of cable. It's fairly straightforward. Now in one of my other videos I did mention about making these. These are DMX converters into the Starcloth controller boxes. Go have a look at my other video for details on how to make those if you want to turn your NJD units into DMX compatible units. Down here we come back out again, and then all the way back up to another megabar, down again, up to the final megabar. That then comes all the way down here again, with more excess cable into the back. I don't know if you can see it because of the light. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, into the back of the VRX up there. Again, the VRX then runs across mid-air up to the 4th power can, and I'm running out of space here, so excuse the camera wobble. Into the VRX and into the power can up there, and again, like I mentioned earlier, there is the terminator. Okay, so there's the cable box, and there are a few bits and pieces inside there. Essentials such as gaffer tape, a box of little bits and pieces like spare DMX terminators, gender changes and things like that, and a few other little bits and pieces in there as well. You don't really need to know about them anyway. Down here are all the other cables that belong to the audio system. There's speaker cables, some speaker extension cables, very long ones. There's an additional set of spare mains cables and IEC male to female cables there. They are there as spares. An additional spare extension male to female IEC cable. A IEC splitter, or 2 IEC splitters are there. Spare DMX cables. Now these here belong to the speakers. These are the speaker mains cables and the speaker XLR cables. Now, I'll just show you what I've done here. I have already tagged these up. Now all I've used is PVC electrical tape, and I've used white and red, and I've also got a text labeler, which you might, I don't know if you can see there, maybe not. It says speaker on them, so I know that they are the speakers. Now the white and red also reflects onto those speaker cables there, so that means that I now know that those belong to the speakers. Right, that's it for this video, for this episode. Episode 3, we will have the sound desk all set up for you, and we'll be going through the testing of the lighting rig. So until next time, practice and enjoy. See you in episode 3. Thanks for watching.